Court comes session, Honorable Debbie, so you preside.
My hair's up close. Pretty cut.
All voted.
Alright, Chambers County Commission Court come to order. It's Tuesday, May the 13th, 2025, 9:30 a.m. County Courtroom, Manawag, Texas. It's now 9:35 a.m. If you'll all rise, Bobby Hall, if you'll lead us, please. Thank you for to join us in the pledges. To the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Steve.
It's fortunate Keep practicing, Judge.
Alright, 1.1, citizens' comments. Emma, is that Coney or Lonnie? Okay, on the agenda. Gloria?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you so much for
Morning.
giving me. Good morning. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to address you. My name is Gloria Way. I'm the managing editor and publisher of the Steve Speaking, and I wanted to go on record to tell you what a bang-up job Samantha Humphrey and Robbie King did this year in covering YPS. In the 10 years that we have been covering it, we've never had that kind of instant communication, instant information about winners, pictures. It made our job so much easier. So I just wanted to congratulate Samantha and Robbie on a heck of a job that they did. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Alright, Lauren Van Deventer, public comment.
Good morning. Lauren Van Deventer, Chambers County HR Director. I wanted to recognize two of our county employees. Is that time's up? I just wanted to recognize two of our county employees from solid waste. We have Matthew. These two guys just completed their CDL license. Back at the end of last year, we got in contact with Lee College. They wanted to partner with us to offer CDL courses for our employees. They actually come to us. We use our truck from Road and Bridge. The instructor comes here. We use our facilities. This always comes up during budget time between Debbie at Solid Waste and Joe at Road and Bridge that we're short CDL drivers. They're hard to keep CDL drivers. So Miss Ashley with Lee College is right here. She's helped facilitate this whole thing. We currently have one Road and Bridge employee who's in our second class right now. And then our third class will start on June the 30th, and Debbie's going to send some more guys. So this is our first class. They finished. They're CDL drivers. One of them actually got in the truck yesterday for Debbie and took off to Smith Point. So I hope we continue our partnership with Lee College and get them all.
Ashley? Morning, man.
Thanks. Yeah, guys. Good job, man. Good job.
Debbie, come on.
Come on, Debbie.
And Mitch is here. Mitch is here.
There you go.
I got five on TikTok.
Okay, where you gonna go? Hold it from each other. Okay, let's see, I got it.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, sir. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate it, for sure.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, man.
All right, that does it. Public comments, 1.2. Discuss and consider proclamation recognizing May 12th through the 18th, 2025 as National Hospital Week. I got that. I don't know what I got here. Sheriff's office. Here it is.
Proclamation recognizing, whereas National Hospital Week is celebrated each May to recognize the vital role hospitals play in providing quality health care services, improving community well-being, and whereas Bayside Community Hospital or the Chambers County Public Hospital District number County for over 75 dedication, passion, unwavering commitment to excellence. And whereas the team at Bayside Community Hospital, not only the general population, also most vulnerable, including those without insurance, access to transportation, ability to ensure no one is turned. Whereas the physicians, nurses, staff, and support team, high standard of service, compassion, and be it proclaimed that the Chambers County Commission does hereby recognize 12th through the 18th week in Chambers County, Texas, and commend the outstanding contribution of Bayside Hospital dedicated team for the role in strengthening the health and well-being of our community and improve this day, the 13th day of May 2020.
By Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. And all those are in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for what you do. Come on up, you'll get a picture.
President.
We'll clear the courtroom. Yes.
Please on it.
Morning.
Good. Come on up here.
You can.
I won't bounce.
Don't worry. There you
go.
Perfect. I'll squeeze in this. I pretend like I like you.
No, I don't put it closer to me.
I made this gonna think I'm gonna kiss her, Gloria.
I was afraid of that. I thank you guys, appreciate that. I wish all the way to go down there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everything else.
Hi, Andy. How you?
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you, brother.
And Nick.
And
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah, how are you this morning?
Heather's got a test too. There you go.
Can I say?
Yeah, sure.
On behalf of the hospital district, I'd like to say thank you. As you mentioned in the proclamation, the district's been here 75 years serving the citizens of Chambers County. We're happy to be able to do that. We're also a growing employer. We've got near 200 in-house employees now, nearing that. And just the employees are wonderful, just what they're doing for the county and for the people, especially the indigent and the people who can't afford to pay is really, it's our duty. It's what we're here to do. And we're just so glad to be able to serve the public here in Chambers County and appreciate everybody's support.
Did you state your name for the record?
Name is Andy Legg. I'm the chairman of the board for Chambers County Hospital District.
Thank you.
Take care.
thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
That's it. Sheriff, you ready? All right, we're going to 17-1. Discuss and consider resolution recognizing National Police Week 2025. Sheriff.
So, make sure this is working. So, Judge, I can read the resolution, but what I also want to do is go quickly over my annual report.
All right, so we'll go to 17-2 along with it.
Okay.
Approve annual report, Chambers County Sheriff's Office.
That would be
We're on
the,
17-1 and 17-2 kind of combined, but we'll take 17-1. We'll vote on it first.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so I just wanted y'all to know that we've kind of gotten to the point at the sheriff's office where we're organized managerial wise, where I'm gonna try and do an annual report to y'all. I know I've kind of done them in the past. I'm gonna do it a little bit different, and I'll add things as the court needs me to. This annual report is really for y'all and for the auditor and the purchasing agent, just to kind of get an idea of the effectiveness of what some of the court and the purchases and the things that we've been doing over the last 5 years. So this is a 3-year report because 20 and 21 was COVID.
Yeah.
And every number that we have is skewed. It doesn't even do us any good to add 20 or 21 into it because it doesn't give us a true picture of actually what happens or whether there's a growth. If I skipped 20 and 21 and went back to 19, 18, 17, it would make sense. But we're going to do a 5-year look. So this year it's a 3-year. Next year it'll be a 4-year. Then a 5-year from there. So notice on the first page, actually our arrests are going down. This is Sheriff's Office statistics, right? What you're going to see when this report is over with, you're going to find that Chambers County is a very safe county to live in relation to surrounding counties. We, in a lot of ways, have crime going down than going up. You see the incidents. These are all tracked. These are actual statistical facts that we're pulling off of our 911 CAD system. See the traffic stops. Our traffic stops have gone up. That obviously is because Commissioner's Court given us the resources and the tools and the motorcycles, what have you, trying to increase traffic enforcement. Inmates that are being booked in the jail, you can see that where the trend is. We're actually down a little bit from 22, but that ultimately will continue to climb just because of the population growth. Calls for service, you can see that's the biggest thing I look at is calls for service. They're on the first page, and you can see that our calls for service continue to grow. We don't ever see that necessarily stopping. Violent crime, This is the stat that I like to see the most. We try and do the best we can to keep everybody from Harris and Jefferson County and Liberty County out of our county when it comes to crime or violent crime, because we have found that most of our violent crimes that we're investigating are not our Chambers County residents. Not going to say we don't have some that are Chambers County residents. Statistically, our major crimes are people coming here committing the crime. Motor vehicle thefts are down, and that is interesting because most motor vehicle thefts are up almost everywhere. We still have our share of them, but statistically our motor vehicle thefts are down, our burglaries are down. And if you think about the percentage of growth that this county has had, technically these crime rates should be climbing at the same rate as our population rate. But fortunately they're not. Flip over vehicle pursuits. So you see vehicle pursuits continue to grow. We have a very strict vehicle pursuit policy. And every vehicle pursuit that we find ourselves in, we do an after-action review. There's a team that is managed and run by Chief Skylar Hearn that look and watch every video pursuit of a pursuit, exactly what we did right, what we did wrong, and we critique every one of them. And it's been very effective for us to have safe vehicle pursuits. You can see that we do terminations. So if termination is whether we captured them or whether we called it off. Right? We call off quite a few, especially if they go into Harris County and they get into heavy traffic. We usually just call the pursuit off because it's not worth getting deputy hurt or anybody else hurt. But statistically, most all the pursuits we get into, we actually end up apprehending them. So we're fortunate in that. And like I say, I think it's important for you all to know we have a very strict pursuit policy. Next page is pursuits continued. You see where we're using stop sticks even more, trying to do a lot. Those stop sticks that y'all fund us with are very useful tool. The only thing that I don't like about them is they put the deputy in jeopardy. Standing out there on the side of the road trying to stop a fleeing 100-mile-an-hour vehicle. So knock on wood, we've told our guys how to deploy them properly, and it reduces their risk, but it is a hazard. Use of force. Chief Hearn and I just talked about this briefly. Use of force, we don't even like the term use of force because it makes it sound like we're the ones putting the force on them. It really is a reaction to somebody creating the force or resisting what it is when they fail to comply. So our use of force, we track them. You also will know every use of force that's taken place also goes before our review board. Every video cameras watched, body cams, we identify whether or not we did things right or did things wrong. Fortunately, we normally do things right. Next page kind of shows you the use of force that we're using. Our dogs have been effective. Obviously, you're only seeing 3 canine bites, but the dogs themselves reduce the use of force quite a lot. So you could probably take that category and put it up at 20 to 25 use of forces that didn't take place because the canine was there. Obviously, we use the taser more than anything, and that is what we want the guys to use, is the taser. We don't want anybody to have to do hands-on. I normally will try to do this report probably in March. I thought it would be fitting since we didn't have this prepared till that I do it on Police Week to kind of give you an idea what the sheriff's office is doing. I will tell you that the issue we've been dealing with is some fleet issues. We're identifying that our fleet issues are not something that Commissioner Court created. In fact, y'all are being very helpful, and George is being very helpful, and the auditor's office is being very helpful to help us fix our fleet issues. So our fleet is aging, and we've just grown so much manpower, and now we're finding that the school, we're trying to push used patrol cars over to the schools, finding that that's really not necessarily working because those deputies at the school use their vehicles quite a bit, more than just driving to the school and parking. And especially when summer rolls around, we put them on patrol. So we're trying to kind of improve that fleet. I'm sorry. Well, in the school operation, ultimately, it will end up being 7. So the and obviously the legislature's still meeting right now. We're not sure what the legislature is going to do with school and school security and the issues that are taking place. It's a moving target, and we're 2 weeks out from the end of the legislature, and it's still a moving target. So, but from a commissioner's court perspective, the sheriff and the sheriff's office will tell you all thank you. Success that we find on our annual report is not the success of the sheriff, it's the success of the whole team of county government. So I appreciate that. I do a lot. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And I don't have a copy of the resolution, but if we want to knock out the resolution, Judge, we
Yeah,
can
go
sure do
ahead.
that.
Mr. Childs is off the grid. No, we'll go back here.
Thank you, Judge. Sheriff, got a resolution here. Whereas the well-being of all people of the United States, the state of Texas and Chambers County is preserved and enhanced as a direct result of the vigilance and dedication of our law enforcement officers. And whereas we rely on law enforcement officers to keep Chambers County safe, enforce our laws, and respond in times of crisis. And whereas it is law enforcement officers who stand ready to serve and protect, even with their lives when necessary. And whereas 4 Chambers County peace officers have made the ultimate sacrifice. Sheriff John Liger Frost, end of watch, Saturday, November 10th, 1900. Deputy Constable Levi Oliver, end of watch, was Wednesday, March 5th, 1930. Deputy Sheriff Dirk Ray Iron, end of watch, Sunday, October 17th, 2004. Deputy Sheriff Shane Thomas Detweiler, end of watch, was Monday, July 13th, 2009. And whereas we come together now to honor our Chambers County fallen officers and those officers across the state of Texas, our nation, who live have been taken, lives have been, not my reading, and our nation whose lives have been taken in the line of duty. Now therefore be it resolved by the Commissioners Court of Chambers County, Texas, that we honor the memory of Sheriff Frost, Deputy Constable Oliver, Deputy Sheriff Kernan, and Deputy Sheriff Detweiler, and express the gratitude of all our citizens to their families for their dedication and service. And be it further resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Chambers County, Texas, pay tribute to those fallen officers and all law enforcement officers in Chambers County, the state of Texas, and the United States, serving to protect us from evil and preserving all our freedoms. Passed and approved by the Chambers County Commissioners Court on the 13th day of May, 2025.
Motion by Commissioner Towns.
Motion by Commissioner Tice.
Second by Commissioner Dagley. And all those are in favor? Thank you, Sheriff, for all you do.
No, thank you, Commissioners. I appreciate it. And one of the things that we were going to attempt to do that we did not do this court is bring in one of our new canines that is also part of the Detweiler Foundation, helped acquire it. Canine handler has a very ill child that is now in intensive care for about the last. So we'll do that. Child recovers and back home and bring in. Sorry.
Emma?
Yes.
Dog's name,
Yes.
Emma?
Yes. And we will have our memorial service at 10:30, called Moment at the Memorial, and we'll please welcome everybody to join us for our Moment at the Memorial. And thank you again, Judge. I appreciate you.
Come on up and let. Yes. On 17-1. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioner, appreciate it.
I was swearing in the 2 new council members in Mont Bellevue last night. They got a force over there. Yeah, I mean, they just kept coming.
We, we kind of routinely tease in-house because the average police officer probably does about 1 report every 2 days. Not the case in the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
No, they do. It's a very, very safe community, which I will tell you that the Mont Bellevue Police Department worked very, very well with us. Their leadership, their chief and their 2 assistant chiefs are very easy to work with, and since Chief Ellison, the policies internally have changed. So we routinely have Mont Bellevue PD coming out of the city backing up our deputies. So I appreciate the relationship we have with the city.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right, motion to accept the annual report from the sheriff's office.
So moved.
First by Commissioner Dagley. Second.
Give me your.
Second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. All right, let's go to BJ's items. BJ, you ready? Oh. 5.2, public hearing on May 13th, 2025, 10 a.m. to establish Orsted reinvestment zone. It is now 10:02 a.m. We will recess out of regular session. On the public hearing at this time. BJ.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. This is a public hearing to discuss, consider, and receive information adoption of the investments. The court approved Chapter 3 property tax abatement project.
All right, any public comments on the Orsted reinvestment zone? Hearing none, still 10:03 a.m. We will adjourn out of public hearing. Go back to the regular session, 5.3. Discuss and consider order establishing the Orsted reinvestment zone.
Judge, it's where that required to form investments per chapter tax code. All the necessary published.
Entertain a motion. Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5.4. Discuss and consider scheduling a public hearing on June 24th, 2025, 10 a.m. to approve the Orsted Star P2X LLC tax abatement grant.
Thank you, Judge. Chapter 312, Section 207 of the tax code requires a public held so that the court can discuss the tax abatement. Notice for the hearing must be provided. Request is to conduct that public hearing. 25 and 10.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions?
BJ, just for the edification of
Yes.
everybody, what's the competing sites for this project?
Well, I know there are competing sites in Louisiana. We've got Emma Coney here.
Good morning, Emma.
Good morning. My name is Emma Coney. I'm a senior associate at Kroll. We do national site selection and incentives advisory. We are looking at Louisiana as a competitive site. We've done a little bit of due diligence, but this is a preferred site, but there are other sites.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing.
So moved. Oh, they just did that, Judge.
Oh, excuse me. Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5.5, discuss, consider scheduling a public hearing on May 27th, 2025, 10 a.m. to establish the TGSCP 4407 Grand Parkway Reinvestment Zone. BJ.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioner. TGSCP 4407 Grant Parkway LLC, seeking tax abatement county, the court approved last court, investments required to proceed. So the request is on the 20th.
Questions? And motion. Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Thomas. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, BJ.
You don't have 5.6, BJ?
What is that, Judge?
That's yours, Sam? Come on. No, yeah, come on. We'll take care of yours.
No.
You say no.
5.6, discuss and consider approving interlocal agreement between Chambers County, Texas City Port Navigation and Improvement District and Chambers County Improvement District number 2.
Say that. We have one on consent that is a,
That's BJ.
yep, BJ, you're back.
Or BJ put,
No, it's me and Dwayne.
never mind BJ. But you can stay for it if you'd like to. Run, BJ.
None of us know what's going on clearly. We do have 5.1 if we want to do it though.
I was eyeballing you, Dwayne. Oh, I got it though.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so this is just an overall agreement in the expansion of EW4 from the current location, the west end of Ameriport, going all the way to 1405. This road that that Cedar Port's gonna be building is gonna connect 1405 to where Ameriport just finished. It's gonna be a three-pronged project between Cedar Port, Ameriport, and the county. So this agreement just encompasses what we've already done with each individual district. This brings us all into agreement. Three of us. Is that the best way to explain it, Dwayne? This is all in the same.
Yes, Commissioner, and the county attorney's office has reviewed it and approved it and ready to move forward.
Yeah. Road being built at no cost.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley. Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Sam, you still there?
Yep.
5.1, discuss and consider applying the Texas Broadband Development Office for the Texas Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program.
Yes, good morning.
Good
So
morning.
we are wanting to apply for the BEAD program. What this will do allow us to apply for funding for infrastructure, broadband services in our area. We are still very, we are rural. There's a lot of places in our county that do not have internet access or at least reliable access. If we have good internet service, it's going to bring businesses here. It's going to live here. It's $3.3 billion that Texas awarded. And we have the opportunity to apply for that. So I'm here to ask if we could apply for that. We really do believe it'll be beneficial to our.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Hammond. Any questions?
We've done this before.
Yes, sir, we have.
What's the difference?
So the difference is when it came about, there was research that was done. The research was not fully done thoroughly. After other people talked about it, they realized that, you know what, we can really crack down and see really where internet is and isn't. They got down and dirty with communities, churches, investigated like what truly is your internet in your community, and they realized, you know what, we need to update our data, and they got nitty gritty and found out that there's still a lot of communities, rural communities that do not have internet access. So that with this program now, it's letting us know that it wants to focus on rural counties, and there's a bigger opportunity of us receiving funds. So.
Yeah, because I drive by every day, our libraries, see vehicles parked outside of the libraries late in the evening and stuff like that. They're using our internet. I mean, I know our internet goes to probably where a parking lot is, so it's not utilized by everybody. But this is very, very important because countywide,
I went
we
to,
have areas that are dead zone for our kids that cannot go home and work on it.
right, absolutely. I went to one of the trainings, and it said it's become, internet is becoming like a utility to live by. Like, you can't work from home, you can't do homework, your kids can't do
No kidding.
schoolwork. I believe in the program, and I hope you and we can.
Yeah, mine was out over the weekend. I couldn't order from Amazon. It was critical. All right, I got a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, back to the top. 2.1, discuss and consider Parks and Recreation Department cash account report. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Judge. Yeah, good audit, no issues.
Any questions?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. To accept the Parks and Recreation Department cash account report. Favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 2.2, discuss and consider authorizing County Judge Jimmy Sylvia sign the county depository contract, including the county depository pledge contract with Iowa National Bank.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. Nikki, anything?
Elected. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in favor?
If you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I just want to commend Iowa National for being at YPS. They spend money for our future leaders of this county. Also, sponsor everything around. So, I mean, it's an honor to be able to award this bid to them.
Absolutely.
And they're always big at YPS.
Always.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2.3, discuss consider co-volunteer fire department 2024 audit report.
Yes, good morning again. There's a few recommendations on this audit, a lot of just separation of bylaws, nothing too concerning, but they have a response sheet to our recommendations. We'll be working on it, and we'll follow up maybe just to make overall no.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Aaron. Road and Bridge 3.1, discuss and consider the vacation adult buy on Smith Point Road. Zach, you out there?
Right.
I'll let Brad
Brad.
take it. Yeah.
Morning.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Okay, so I've been working with Sandra Flores with the D. Giovanni Group. They have purchased Lot 4, the D. Giovanni plat. In this northeast corner, there's a 60-foot right-of-way established in 1876. And so they can't do much with it. They can't do much with it with this being in the way. They are looking to get it abandoned.
Say that again.
They're looking to get it abandoned.
Okay.
It's more or less a half-acre right of way, 24,110 square feet. So, and I've been working with Bobby and Nathan on this, and I think we're just what we'd like to do. They're going to pay the $200 fee, the application fee. They own both sides of it. Go back to them. Obviously, we can't do that today. We've got to set the public hearing, but at least I wanted to set the groundwork for what we're doing. Bobby, did you have anything to add?
Great. All right, motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Actually,
Just because you have the square.
Commissioner Board.
oh, actually, we don't need a motion on that one. Well, let's, no action on 3.1 if you're good with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to 3.2 to set the public hearing.
Okay, that's right. Yes, sir.
Go to 3.2, discuss and consider setting a public hearing The proposed vacation double bio on Smith Point Road, that'll be June 24th at 10 a.m. Brad,
Yes, sir.
anything else?
No, sir, that's, on that one, that's all I've got.
So,
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions on 3.2? Not those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 3.3, discuss and consider BioBreeze Estates minor replat. Brad, you taking that off?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So, we've been working with, Caleb Lowry. They own property in the, Section 8 plantation. They're purchasing half of a lot from the Doggets and another half from the Collies. Now, this is a replat. They are changing the characteristics of the original plat. That also does require a public. Very standard, but that's just what local government code says we have to do. Not a whole lot to it. Basically giving them, I think it was a son-in-law, or maybe the son owns the property in the middle. They just wanted to give them a little bit additional.
Like a curve there, yeah.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Okay, no action on 3.3. 3.4, discuss and consider setting a public hearing for Bayou Breeze Estates minor replat, June 24th, 10 a.m. Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Dagley. For anything else?
No, sir.
All right, those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Yes, sir.
4.1, discuss and consider approving construction services agreement with CenterPoint for relocation of power poles along Gordon Spear Chambers Parkway, the amount of $152,102.
Yes.
Zach,
So
good morning.
with the construction of Chambers Parkway, there's a siphon that we're going to construct with this. CenterPoint is relocating some power poles. With the relocation, some other poles have to be relocated that is outside of the right of way, which is where this utility service agreement comes into play. It's going to cost us $152,102 for the relocation. Should be getting that back as well with the CenterPoint easement. It's kind of a wash, but we have to go through it.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Question?
So where's the wash at on?
So CenterPoint is coming to the county for an easement across our property, and they're paying for that easement. So we've been negotiating with CenterPoint on the county side of that.
All right, other questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 4.2, discuss and consider approving Tri-County to clear out drainage pathways in various locations off of FM 3180, amount of $310,588.
Judge, if I may,
You
before our engineer speaks. So this invoice should have been an emergency. I got a call from both Commissioner Gore and Commissioner Tice when they saw this on the agenda, making sure that we understand this is an emergency. It should have been posted as an emergency, and if we're doing a tie-in with TxDOT, I'll let the engineer talk about that. But anyway, making sure that when we make a vote, that we make the vote that way, please.
Yeah, so this is a continuation, like George said, of the TxDOT work that we had approved as an emergency. This is going to be taking a lot of water away from and out of the homes that are on the east side of 3180. This is to help also clear that out and make sure that none of those homes flood there.
Yeah, this is gonna affect about 150 homes over there. The 17.3 acres a few months ago that acquired, this working together with TxDOT, Port 99, and ourselves, us capturing this land and coming off of it, cooling pump on the actual drainage is done on that scope of work. Corey, would you like, or I mean Zach or Corey, would y'all like to interject the importance of where this water has been going and where we are sending it and where this dollars are going to serve about 150 homes over there in Peach?
I'll let Corey kind of help explain that one.
Corey, we worked on this pre-Zach, and we've been working on this for several years now, and it's finally coming into play. Would you get the high point
Yes, sir, Commissioner. So this water, some of it's just stacking and wasn't really moving. Is a potential flood challenge as it goes through additional drainage paths over there, kind of in the Texana area, coming across, and really kind of got blocked in that. So we worked with TxDOT, try to move this water. TxDOT's made some improvements. They're going to take the water down to a new crossing location, which is across from this acreage that you're talking about the county purchased. We're going to be able to build a detention pond on the downstream side of it, help detain it, also to protect it before it goes through another location, and then clear that all the way out to the cooling pond. So I think this will really be a great improvement and minimize potential flooding for hundreds of homes east of 31.
Yes. You know, when we complete this scope of work that we're approving today, this will put us at a little over 4.5 miles. We've done about a mile worth of drainage now coming off of Texana. And when we get all this done, it's going to be about 4.5 miles of drainage. All the citizens will be.
Yeah, I agree, and I commend all the commissioners for what y'all have done in recognizing the potential flood challenges. I know the large rain that we had back last year that kind of, I guess, spurred this. You know, we had several homes in that area that were pretty close to collecting some.
Just a couple, but.
Right. And this should really improve all those conditions.
I want to make a note. The judge and I have spoke to Pretty Bay. Pretty Bay uses a helicopter on these ditches to keep after we go in and clear them, we need to maintain them. Exactly. We need to reach Pretty Bay to get their contractor they have some budget. We need to spray the right chemical and maintain these deals, and a helicopter can go down in there and spray a straight line. So we're not having to use a plane or something, or a truck. And
So we don't have to come back and do this again.
so we don't have to come back and do this again. So please reach out to Tree Bay, Jerry. Get their contractor, because of the, let's get some mileage. Every ditch that we go in here clear, we can spray once a year with this helicopter.
Just to be clear, at this point, all we're approving is just this one hydromulch and the pond improvement.
Yeah, no.
Just maintenance after that.
Right, yes.
Maintenance afterwards. Commissioner Dagney's had a bunch done in his precinct. Well, there was already we've in-house. Zach and I, we're looking at several ditches over here. Just need to make sure and keep up with those ditches, so we don't come back and have to do this after.
With this project, we're going to be probably over 5 or 6. You add your stuff. We're knocking a lot of these areas right before hurricanes.
Right. And this is a contracted amount, and then we're also doing some in-house work with our in-house crews. That's going to be doing some stuff.
I think it's important to share with the people that our in-house people, Ed and his crew, is just unbelievable, and we've done a lot of work already. It's just amazing work that should be recognized. Plantations attacked that drainage is going to be our crew. Really excited.
Yeah, when Ed gets done, hopefully in about a month, bring him back in for congratulations.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good.
I agree.
All right, I got a motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Dagley to do the award
As
the
an emergency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
we're
an
gonna,
emergency.
Okay, we're gonna award Tri-County the emergency contract for pathways in various locations.
That's
your
correct.
motion.
That's my motion.
All right, any other questions or comments? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 4.3, discuss and consider Southwind Section 4 roadways and county maintenance.
Yes, so this is just the acceptance of the roadways into the county maintenance. Drainage will be handled by the Mud District.
By Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. How long is 4-4 gonna take?
A minute. Pardon me, break.
2 minutes.
It's 10:25. Let's go ahead and recess for, the moment of memorial, and we'll come back after that. All right, court can order at recess at 11:02 a.m. Back to 4.4, discuss and consider changes to floodplain management regulations. You're up. Brad.
Sir. Okay, so last year, the county, we expressed interest in entering into the CRS program, Community Rating System, FEMA. And in doing so, the county has to have higher standards. You can't just say, hey, we've got a floodplain program, sign us up and let's let everybody have savings on their insurance. So I've been working with Debbie Bassick with Cahoon Consultants, and she has been revising our floodplain standards. The big takeaway from what we want to do is have our non-residential / commercial development meet our existing residential standards. That's 2 feet above the 100-year floodplain, 1 foot above the 500, whichever's highest. That's as far as what we are asking to change. That is the biggest. Also adding critical facilities to our definition and to our order. Schools, hospitals, that they're elevated at a higher standard. That's how you get into this program. I think there's only 3 counties out of 254 in Texas, only 3 that participate. That says a lot. Hard to get into. We're gonna get into it. So, there are some. Most of it is grammar, is grammatical errors, small things. But the big takeaway is just our commercial meeting our existing residential standards. Right. And again, just like the other 2 items, I don't think this will be an action right now. We're going to have a public hearing. Maybe at the next. At least wanted to let y'all know what our intent is.
Right.
All right, 4.5, discuss and consider setting a public hearing to make changes to floodplain no action on 4.4, floodplain regulation manual. Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. What date do you want?
June 24th.
Yes, sir. 10 a.m.
Thanks, sir.
Y'all.
3. Tice and Gore. Those in favor? We did now? Motion carries. You heard me say no action. All right, back to 1.3. Discuss and consider GOVO sync for property alert monitoring for clerk's office. Ms. Hawthorne.
Good morning. I am so excited to bring this program to Chambers County. Recently, the national news has had a lot of coverage on property fraud in our country. So my goal that I set with my team on January 2nd was that we would, by the end of the first quarter, bring property fraud alert system to the residents of Chambers County. We vetted several different vendors through the process and have chosen GovOS, which is currently also our vendor for our property record. So it made sense to be able to combine that service with who already has all of our documents imaged and online, etc. Not expensive, $1,500. I know I didn't need to bring it to Commissioner's Court, but with this new service, I know that title companies, residents, etc., are going to be so excited to be able to sign up for free to have an alert put either through their email, phone, etc., so that if anything happens to a document with your name on it, you will get a notice. The exciting thing is that if it's legit and you get the notice, great. You know it was a legitimate transfer. If you get a notice and you have no idea, you can start the process of fixing the problem. So after today, we will have a kickoff meeting to get this implemented into our system. And obviously, I will do a lot of press releases on how to sign up for the service, free to our constituents. The most important thing is that our team can assist. It is so user-friendly that I think doesn't matter your age or whatever, you're going to be able to sign up for this. So, I ask for your approval.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. All right, I think we're down to Parks and Rec. 6.1, discuss and consider going out for an RFP. 6 pickleball courts at Winnie Stoll Park. Morning, John.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. We have brought this before, but the location was not in a good location. Kinder Morgan met us out there and said we couldn't build there, so we have moved these courts to the north side of Winnie Stoll Park. The only thing there is the car show every year for the Rice Festival, but we have talked to them and they are going to find another place south of the Safari Run. So, just getting approval to go out for an RFP.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.2, discuss and consider going out for RFP. 6 pickleball courts, Beach City Park.
Yes, sir. The new Beach City Park under Commissioner Dagley. It is becoming very quickly now that the restrooms have started. We are seeing a lot of progress out there. So also we want to get the 6 pickleball courts on RFP so we can maybe be in construction by midsummer.
The land that's adjacent to Beach City off Brilliant Park. All these.
We're going to go out for 6.
Good, Ryan. And with an option of 4, correct?
With the option of 4, yeah. We're going to look at
And
that.
that's the official name, the Beach City Park.
For now.
For now.
For now, okay.
A few miles from Gulf of America.
I'm sorry.
It may need to be TGS. Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.3, discuss and consider going out for bids for cleaning contract for White's Park Community Building and West Side Community Building.
So it's been brought to my attention that like the West Side building, we only have one event per weekend. If because of our cleaning capacity right now and what we can do, as of right now, if you don't pay for a cleaning contract, the staff from the Parks and Recreation go out on Monday or Sunday to take care of that. I think we're losing money on both for both buildings. I think we can have an event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So Commissioner Dagley told me to go out for bids for just to see where we're at, kind of on a cleaning contract. We contacted three businesses, and they all came out with different types of contracts. Some were per square foot, some were just a one-time fee. The other ones were based on the amount of people. So I think we can go out for a kind of get an RFP, kind of get a scope together, go out and get the contracts for West Side Building and White's Park. And from what I see, we're looking between $400 to $600 per cleaning, and that's based on the supplies that we provide them, and that's going to be in our scope. So what would happen is you'll have an event and you'll contact a cleaning company, and at 12 o'clock when the event's over, they'll come out from 12 to 2 or 12 to 3, clean up, get the building back to empty for the next day's event. So instead of having one event, you can have up to 3 events at each building. And I think you would definitely fill West Side up, I know. And the cleaning fee would be, it would not be optional. You would have to pay the cleaning fee. whether it's a $600 fee, a $700 fee, then that cleaning fee that you pay would pay for the contract. So we'd be out no money.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what John's saying, currently we're limited to one event on a weekend. From my office, who are the rentals on the west side, we are booked out 12 months. It has the brakes on bookings because just booked that so popular. That's just with one weekend. So I know we can put more events there, generate more revenue, yes, but also have our facilities open more for while we built them, which is for community use. So that's going to be important. Also, we're hoping this cleaning fee is basically a wash of what we're paying now for our cleaning. We don't intend to overcharge or charge more to the public. We're hoping it stays in the $400 to $600 range. I think $600 is what we charge now. We make that optional. We're running into a lot of problems, and that's going to come up on next court when we discuss our building rental contracts and such. So we're going to bring that on court once we get this RFP back. We've had some issues with some that don't pay and some that do pay. The ones that don't pay, they get a little egregious of how they leave the building. We've decided to preserve the life of the building and the investment we've made. We may need to start to come up. Been a lot of work, John.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. We met on this several months ago and decided the two large buildings would do this, and then the smaller ones would still be our folks doing it.
So we still don't want to, we want the verbiage to be exactly as it is, very specific. We don't want to open it up to the county. Just making sure.
I think we need to start with the larger building.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Gore. Yeah, I think we tried on the large ones. If it works good, then we may want to open up the rest. At times, we may need the others. All right, 6.4, discuss, consider approving premier, those in favor. Thank you, Dan. Opposed, motion carries. 6.4, discuss, consider approving premier outdoor living and construction for the construction of a 30 by 40 pavilion at the new Beach City Park in the amount of $49.
Yeah, again, this for our new Beach City Park, the pavilion that we're going to build, 30 by 40. We did go out for, we've got multiple bids on this, but they were the lowest bid. It'll be this kind of the same pavilion that we had at Westside Complex, which is a very nice pavilion for that site. So.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, John. 7.1, discuss and consider approving HKR ranches for upgrades to existing Old West Annex amount of $26,008.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is phase 2 of the existing or old West Annex upgrades. Is for the JP4 and secretary offices and the hallways not be orange.
I can't believe you're taking out that orange.
Find me in contempt. I don't care.
Yeah, we did have we had multiple quotes on this.
They didn't get that till I moved.
You could have, don't even.
Go there.
All right, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Tice, you sure you want a piece of that orange?
7.2, discuss, consider allocating an additional 10% contract contingency as tariff relief for all accepted project proposals. Concept duration to be determined upon market stabilization.
Yeah, in talking to several people, I think this would be easier if we included 10% contingency in all these jobs going forward instead of coming back and trying to do a bunch of change orders. We know the market's going to fluctuate, materials, until the tariff stabilizes and what we're going to do. I think this would be a good idea.
And I spoke with George and some of our contractors, and George can elaborate on this as well. And we're looking at a 20 to 30% increase. Just 10% to annex Legion Hall. We'll build these facilities for that cost. And just, we need to start, as Mike said, we need to start figuring this from the jump straight into these projects above the.
Also have the new big barn and training facility.
We
So,
do. We have both of those.
I mean, yeah, our vendors are letting us know that, hey, I can take.
Which
30%
items?
counting us.
Which items are they specifically
Steel
bringing up?
and everything.
I sell steel. We're not going up, and I just told all of my customers we're holding firm on our. So that's
You're doing
false.
good. You're doing
That's
good.
false.
Most of them don't want to do that for us.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, I think it's a good idea, so I mean, motion for approval, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Gore. Second by Commissioner Tice. Questions?
So, and just for instance, like, so the East Annex and the Legion Hall, so there's an item on consent, move money over in that budget. We don't even know what we're looking at yet, off the project. So what do we accomplish? Moving money around all these projects when we don't have prices. I'm not against any of the projects at all, what I'm saying, we're just arbitrarily making moves that don't have any basis.
Well, I mean, we know these projects are going, the increase with everything that's going on in our, with the tariffs and everything else right now. I mean, y'all still fighting on your building over there, so I mean, the increases, it's gonna be there. To build a facility that county can be proud of, I mean, we need this increase.
Yeah, I'm not arguing the
Yeah,
project
no,
at all.
I understand.
Not at all. But I just don't understand.
We're just trying to get ahead of it. We need to be doing it from Jump Street in the first place, so that's all.
So when we build a project that includes a contingency with an architect fee that's tied to a cost of construction, is the contingency part of the percent they get?
It is.
My problem is we're guaranteeing that we're not only paying a 10% tariff fee, we're paying an extra 7 to 8% on the architect fee now. We're going up 10% cost. So I would rather not have a built-in pad of this unknown that we may or may not ever spend.
That's exactly right.
So why we're artificially inflating our costs to get charged a fee from our architects on every project? I'd rather come to court every time. Really. I know it's more of a pain, but I'd rather come to court and say, hey, tariffs caused this to go up. Then we make a vote. Guess what? We've already paid that architect that cost. Right?
That's right.
I mean, I see us causing more money than we should.
Even if we come back and do it later, George, they still guaranteed 7% of that increase to the cost of it.
7% of whatever your budget,
Yeah.
whatever it is, 2%,
Whatever the
7%,
budget is.
Whatever the budget is, so, I mean, if we got an increase, the architect's gonna be happy because 7% of the half.
But the question is, if you do a change order,
But if you do a change order, he's gonna get 7%.
if you do a change order though, not guaranteed.
But this is guaranteeing your East Annex building will cost the architect, he's gonna make $21,000. I mean,
No, I get
maybe
it.
it's
But I'm
only
just
4%
saying,
there.
I understand.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's,
Because if we over budget, he's gonna get no matter what.
I don't know if we're over budgeting. We're looking at what Commissioner Hammond is faced with, and everything else. I don't think we're over budgeting.
Yeah.
It's for all of them, it's not that one.
No,
It's
that's
a great
more. I
point.
mean, every
It's a
single
great
project.
point.
I mean, we've probably got $5 million of projects going on.
Yeah.
So 500,000, that's a big number
Yes,
if
sir.
you add 10% to it.
Exactly right.
And it may not be that, but if you include it in the budget, we're gonna, no matter what, get charged.
that's right.
If we end up having a 4% change or a 5% change, we're only gonna get that 4 or 5%. But if you arbitrarily add 10%, they're going, I promise you that architect's gonna start up front. And they say, oh, you didn't spend it, never mind. They're not gonna give us a refund.
No, we're not gonna give us free.
You know?
Let's look at those numbers when the time comes.
I mean, I just wanna make sure we
No,
follow.
I understand.
So. Maybe get, I mean, I said maybe get lucky. Maybe, you know, like yesterday, the big announcement of the 90-day hold on Chinese tariffs. And maybe the market went crazy. Maybe this all backs off, oil's down.
Nucor Steel and US Steel informed us that we're one of their top customers. And we've got our numbers locked in 12/31. I don't know if it's because they have inventory or their scrap is still a product that hasn't been hit high. But my customers are calling me going, hey, Tice, is your price going up? I'm bidding job A, and Katie. I went, no, hold your.
Gentlemen, architect lived to his percentage to the construction cost, not to the contingency.
Well, I just asked Bobby, they said it was tied to the
What you put
contingency.
in, whatever that, I think it's $2 million or.
Yeah, but you can specify when you sign an architect in, or an engineer in, you say, okay, whatever the construction cost, you get 7 points. You don't touch the contingency, you don't get any percentage of it. You got the ball's in your
You
court.
can do that on the front end, sure.
Oh, you're listening. That's what's gonna help with the contract.
That's an option for sure.
All right, currently have a
Can I say
motion and
something? I
second
think
to
we need to
approve.
learn our lessons from COVID, that it was all, we had lots of scares and lots of this, and it's gonna be a shortage and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it
And I
did
think the
happen.
tariff is,
Good Lord. All right, I got a motion and a second. Those in favor? Opposed? Aye. Approved. And make sure Dwayne on the contract.
Yes, sir, we had to sign the contract for one.
And, okay,
We
they
haven't
don't
done
include
one
them.
for the, and
Yeah, those contracts won't include this.
Going forward.
Yeah.
make sure I'm correct before I start dealing
If
with.
it doesn't include the contract, I mean, my vote changed, but if it is gonna be there, I can't.
going forward.
All right, Aaron's got a question.
So like, you know, you got a project, whatever. Increase
And I'll,
in code budget or whatever. Go. Putting.
you're the auditor, you can do that, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that.
So the construction costs are still A, and we know that we have an extra 10% if we need it. Is that what you're saying?
Internal contingency.
Yeah, you can set it up in a different line item.
That's a different deal.
What's the verbiage here?
Do you set that up in a line item for each project?
Yeah, like you know, like this pickleball project coming up.
Yeah.
You say, oh, we think that could be a for project code.
Got a contract amount, and then you got a
Is that,
project
and
amount.
if y'all do need to choose.
So you can take this 600,000. Do you separate it, Legion Hall, or do you put it all in there and say it's coming to those? It's a line item for each one.
So we have a project code for every project deal. So there's one for all of it. Pickleball courts, every project has a project. I think the issue is going to be where you get money from. All these projects, like on the CO, each dollar is assigned to each code. So the question is going to be, okay, where are you going to get this 10% from? What project do you pull from?
Yeah, maybe we do a line item like that, and just, it's there available funds for.
Back to change.
Right, to a change order.
Yeah, and then the court's aware of the change order.
Have some help.
Knowing that you have a contingency.
Verbiage.
Well, you can still do this going forward, it's just how we set it up internally.
By the auditor, yeah.
You still gotta come back to court with a change order.
But the money's there for it.
Absolutely.
But the money is budgeted there.
And that's all that matters.
It's a different game for me.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And I can,
I think you would need some communication. Also, new projects coming up that's going to have this.
that way, like Commissioner Hammond was saying, they don't get that, or they
I
don't
mean,
get that off the top.
the agenda item read contract contingency, and it's like it's gonna be in the contract. If it's not in the contract, then I have a different feeling of the vote, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no,
So, but in the contract, I think they're gonna.
But there's verbiage, it does say that, Commissioner.
I know.
It says it.
And it's been approved.
It's been approved.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, we just
Yes,
need
sir.
to internally figure out how we want to negotiate it at the time. It's
All right, so if we were to say an additional 10% hidden contingency and don't say contract, appropriate to say hidden?
Unknown.
You just don't tell them.
Unknown.
Unknown.
Well,
We just do it internally. Aaron and Mike can figure that out.
yeah, the judgment was approved, this says contract and
Yeah.
10%
I don't think we need to say the word
contract.
hidden.
Yeah.
Well, it says it in your,
Yeah,
That's my evil devil.
but that don't,
read your eye.
And it's passed.
it's
Passed
passed,
it as is.
but still, I think it's how Aaron and them decide to say.
And if you want to clarify it, bring it back. Aaron, you and Mike.
Can we do that,
That's
Judge? Even
fine.
if it's been
Yeah,
voted on?
just-
Can we do
Yeah,
that?
oh yeah.
Okay, good, all right.
Please don't say hidden, please.
No, do not say.
Thank you, Council.
How about unknown?
All right, let's move on.
Unknown either.
No, we've already voted on it.
But no, I totally agree, totally agree. I hate to give them any more 7%.
Unless you want to pull your motion, you second.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna withdraw my motion.
Any second? Okay. You make, you want, yeah, let's table it and get it straight for you. How about that? All right.
And see, let me make a statement. This is why the court up here is trying to do what's best for our. This is why we have these open discussions. We do not talk before court. We cannot. We only can talk to one person on court. This is why we have so much dialogue back and forth, because we don't know what the other ones are thinking. Saying that for transparency.
All right, 10.1, discuss and consider amendments to Chambers County Fire Code. Ryan.
Morning.
Good morning.
So these are pretty simple. They're mainly aimed at clarifying definitions. So it's mostly it's verbiage and definitions in Chapter 2. So we needed to specify the appendices that were actually adopted on page 2. And what appendices are is they'll have notations on how to strike fire lanes, etc. That's an example of what the appendices. We didn't want to adopt all of them because some of them were too stringent according to what we're doing in a area. Chapter 2, we defined what a halfway house was on page 5. As the code did not define that. We also clarified in a few places on pages 5 and 8 that when we say that state guidelines will be followed, if we have to make that statement, we're talking about the NFPA 101 Life Safety Code as adopted by Texas Department of Insurance and state fire marshals. We also removed 2 definitions. We removed the definition of group home because it's already defined in other code and state laws. I felt like there was a conflict, and I don't like that. Consistency is key on that. Also removed the definition of boarding home as it's also defined.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. 12.1, discuss and consider approving greenscapes 6 for the greens resurfacing their areas in Chambers County Golf Course on a 49,000 acres.
Yes, sir. Greenscape 6 is a co-op that we're using. They're going to actually do the resurfacing, but we are going to purchase the grass or the sod.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. Questions?
Is that for the future boarding place?
I think it is, isn't it?
We're gonna put it on the 7th.
Don't you need greens there?
Gotta shoot the golf ball.
Yeah. All right, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 12.2, discuss and consider approving Total Turf Solutions to a dry injection to the greens at Chambers County Golf Course.
Yes, sir. After talking to Don Armstrong and a couple of the big hitters that we've been consulting with, the dry injection of the greens is a must do. We have it planned for next Thursday, the 22nd. We have sand being delivered on Wednesday. This process will take about 8 to 10 hours, and we will close the course for the day. Take about 10 to 12 of my Parks and Recreation employees to get this done. But this is a big step in getting the greens.
What is a dry injection?
Dry inject, sir?
What is dry injection?
So we got the soil sample back, and we went down 12 inches, and they do it each by quarter. There's 3/4, and then so basically our top 4 inches of our greens, water's getting through there, but then there's nowhere to go after the last 8 inches. So basically, the water just kind of drifts where it can on its way out. That's why you have the bare areas in certain of the greens. The water's just sitting there. This dry inject will get down to the 10, 11, 12 inch range. It'll get down, it'll open it up, put sand down, put water in, and it'll just start the process of doing that. We're going to do that twice a year. Yes, sir. We'll do that twice a year. The numbers that we got back from the soil sample, they were pretty eye-opening. So we're going to do that once a year as well. We are speaking with some of the top people almost in the country about this golf course. Don Armstrong, Larry with the irrigation, Steve Wolford. These guys are not just fly-by-night guys. These guys have come with a large resume. I know Don Armstrong, I met with him for like 8 hours at the golf course. He was superintendent of Colonial up in Fort Worth. So we have some top people, and we think we have a really good plan going forward. That's
What's the cost?
the dry injection's going to be, I think, around 4,800. It's like 10 cents, 10 cents a square foot.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what John was talking about, this is all part of the master plan and getting all the information back from the architect that we hired. And that's where we're at with John right now, moving the steps down the line, knocking out some of the master plan projects. Drainage, no different countywide. It also affects 100 acres. This golf course is nearly 5 decades of neglect of drainage. We're about to numbers on master plan moving down the road. Neighbors, golf course great again.
These two items will be done within the next month, and then we should have some from the master plan. Steve Wolford's getting some final numbers. Should happen by the end of the week. So I'll say, hopefully by midsummer, end of summer, we start on our big plan.
So up to 4,800 is what you need us to approve?
Yes, sir. I've got that, but we have to pay for the sand. So the 4,800 is just for the service.
That's the contract.
Yes, sir. And we're getting there.
Motion by
W9 on
Commissioner
that.
Tice. Second by Commissioner Hammond. Any other questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 12.3. Discuss and consider approving Tri-Tex grass to supply certified TIF Eagle sod for the golf course, the amount of $22,700.
And this is the grass that Greenscape 6 that we need a USGA certified grass to do this this for the resodding. And this grass is what Greenscape 6 told us to order
That's
for the
resodding on the green.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to buy the grass.
Your Honor, John was talking about some of the top people in America that are working with on these projects. TIF Eagle was the #1 recommendation before John got position. So this comes from many different areas of research I've done in the last 24 months. This is really going to make our golf course pop again, because there's about a half a dozen greens. They're in just tremendous bad shape, and the TIF Eagles really make.
Motion by Commissioner Tice. Second by Commissioner Gore. To make Chambers County Golf Course great again.
That's right.
Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 14.1, discuss and consider the reappointment of Dr. William Clay Brown as Health Authority for Clemens County. Kevin and Mary Beth couldn't be here, but they recommended.
Second.
By Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Down to consent. Right there?
Now, 19.22, we can go ahead and approve that money reallocated. On that, Aaron, as long as then we come up with how we're gonna.
All right, precinct 1, what else you got?
Let's do it.
2, 3. Oh. Tired of beating that horse. That horse is tired of you beating it today.
Raise the white flag.
4. And motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Nice. Any no questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 11:38 a.m. Going to recess to executive session. Personnel issues, sale, purchase of real property, FMLA extension. So 11:38 a.m. to recess. All right, court come to order at the executive session, and there's no action, so with that, you got the gavel. We are adjourned at 1:16 PM.